Hi, Aptera fans. It's been a busy last 3 months for Aptera as we've been progressing our development efforts on our betas.
Well, it's me again. I'm going to do a quick video that's a reminder of the more distant past than the last video I did. Some clown commented in my last video that I'd used a November 21 video by Aptera Motors and there was no need for it as far as he was concerned. So I just thought I'd go back a little further. Now I'm back to June 2021. And while the last video was all about how the gamma was delayed just by a month and a bit, this one is going to highlight how production is delayed. So I just thought I'd have a look at this June 2021 update and make some comments in hindsight. Now, about the updates, I counted there were 11, maybe 12 updates, and that's in the past more than 2 years. So they're updates, even though they give it a monthly name, virtually on average every second month. Not that it matters. Their updates are only a couple of minutes long every time and don't tell you much. But let's just get into this one and see what it gives.
Our betas are crucial in our ramp to production, and they really serve to integrate production parts into our first development vehicles.
Just notice that he does say our betas, plural. They did intend to make more than one.
We'll progress that through Gamma and Delta and hopefully have a production vehicle ready by the end of the year.
That's a really important one. June 2021, hoping to have a production-ready vehicle by the end of 2021. Of course, we know that that was put back and is constantly being put back. But let's have a look at their hoping to have one ready by the end of 2021. People in the business of making things, they have charts and systems in place to get fairly accurate predictions. They will chart the flows of all the componentry and they will take into consideration many things, such as the excuses that the fanboys make, the pandemic, the supply shortage, the shortages of any other thing, labour, be it. They will factor in all of these things in their charts and they will be reasonably accurate. If you look at their hope of having something produced by the end of 2021, they are not within cooey. And so I believe the reason why they say that is not because they think they can do it, but because they get more investors. They get more orders for the silly trikes. They tell you things are going to be reasonably fast so that people will spend money. That's their big aim, and they're prepared to lie for it. They're prepared to know full well that either it will never go into production or it will be years away. They must be able to map that out, that it will be years away or never. And this mention of by the end of 2021 is purely to get people's money.
The biggest changes in the Beta Series vehicles are the size. We've made it bigger, but we've also lowered the drag to make it more efficient. So there's no net increase in drag from the Alpha Series.
Yes, they can make things bigger and yet actually lower the drag. Now that's once again snake oil selling. If you make it bigger, you naturally increase drag. But increasing drag is not a selling point. Lowering drag is a selling point. So magically, they're able to do it. They used Airtasker to work out the most efficient shape for drag at that size, and then found out magically that it was more efficiently at a larger size. It doesn't compute.
Vehicles. We've increased the headroom, we've increased the side space near the hip, so it's going to feel more roomy inside and bigger and not have increased drag.
This reason why they have gone for increased size is because they received too many negative comments about it being a little bit too small. And so all things are designed to appeal to people.
Through our alpha testing, we identified some opportunities to increase headroom and increase our battery packaging area. This caused us to increase our frontal area of the vehicle by about 1%. But
also, they include there that they increased their battery packaging area. There were remarks up to this point that there wasn't enough room for the battery, and so he slips in that we've increased our battery packaging area. It is still uncertain whether they can fit a 100 kilowatt hour battery pack in it, even after increasing the size. In fact, I want to ensure or make a point of everything that they say they have done, they have never substantiated. They talk and expect people to believe them on face value. They expect suckers to just accept everything they say. There is nothing substantiated ever. Keep that in mind.
through aerodynamic optimization, we were actually able to lower the total drag product of the vehicle.
We made it bigger because we wanted to accommodate a larger percentile of folks. We wanted really tall folks and big folks to be able to fit comfortably inside the headroom and in the headroom near the door.
This was after a lot of people were saying, I'm over 6 foot, can I fit in? And so they've just pandered to the what they see as negatives. They remove the negatives, but we're totally unsure that this is all real.
During our track testing with the alphas, we learned that we have a lot of opportunities to optimize our stability, our turning radius, and our maneuverability. We turned to Roush's engineering team to help us develop automotive quality components for our production efforts towards the end of this year.
On that one, I've often said, I have never seen a vehicle go down a drag strip where the timing lights have been turned off. Aptera is the first one. While they're supposed to be testing it, they've actually turned off the timing lights, so nobody knows what's going on.
Some of the changes in the suspension are things that we learned from the extensive testing at the track. We wanted to implement all of the improvements that we learned that we needed from Alpha into the Beta series, and Roush is helping us engineer that new suspension. They're making it even more stable and more manufacturable than it was before, helping us source OEM parts and etc.
Roush. They have never been seen. I watched carefully the 3 beta tests where they went out to Chuckwalla, and I could not identify one Roush employee there. They say that Roush is involved, but when you look at it, you don't know what involvement they've had. And when it comes to making suspension parts for a vehicle, they really don't need to know that much. they would probably have all sorts of shapes and sizes of suspension components and would just throw something in off the shelf and that would do. But Aptera Motors talks as if it was a difficult situation and that they're having the best, but no, once again, nothing substantiated.
So that we can get to production that much quicker.
Roush is a leader in performance engineering, and they've really helped to streamline our suspension and production parts as we move forward. They're well known for their racing heritage and the amazing things they've done in high-volume automotive. We're also working hard to optimize our body structure for ease of assembly and lightweightness. Roush has helped us with our door systems, which are typically a very difficult part of engineering for vehicle longevity.
Yes, the door systems. These doors on the Alphas are not the same as the not the renders of the doors of the Gamma, but the pictures of the Gamma, which have struts. So what we have is Alphas with no struts, then Betas with no doors. How Roush can do anything with the Betas when they haven't even got doors on them, I don't know. But then we get to the Gamma, and they render the Gamma without struts like the Alphas. And eventually we get pictures of people jumping in a Gamma, and they have struts. Nothing adds up.
And we've seen some amazing enhancements in how the door functions, the window mechanisms, and how the door hinges.
Next, let's talk about the drivetrain. We've been working with the LAFE to improve the efficiency of their motors to make them more suited or dialed in for Aptera's use case. One of the improvements is even in the cable routing, and that allows us to use smaller cables and package them underneath in the aero covers that we don't have on the Alpha vehicles, but that you will see on the Beta.
This is important.
Yeah, the routing of the cables, those big orange cables that are the power to the motors. Once again, in the Betas, they show them and they're quite visible. They're not that small and can't be hidden. Yet on the Gammas that have just come out, they are invisible, or as Steve from Aptera Owners Club says, he can't find them, he can't see them. Now, what I said in my last video, I still hold to. I don't believe they're there because they don't have anything to go to. Under the wheel pants, there is no elapsing motor. Now, that's a guess of mine. I don't like to guess, but it just, at this stage, the way the Gamma is being rushed, and I mean rushed more than 12 months after it should have been built, the way it's been rushed, I would be hard-pressed to believe that there's a motor inside under those wheel pants.
Important because we have both all-wheel and front-wheel drive systems, and they both need to work equally as well in every situation. The motors are also important aerodynamically for the Aptera. The way the cables are routed into the vehicle and how they attach to the suspension has aerodynamic impacts. Both the lower and upper A-arms need to be optimized to minimize drag throughout the vehicle. Hess Mechatronics has been helping us optimize our battery systems to make sure that we can produce them in volume and so that they're the most energy-dense package we can provide.
Now, this is another interesting thing, the batteries. I'm going to insert somewhere down the track when I'm editing, I'm going to insert the 7 or so members of the team in a battery update where they all talk about them making the battery in-house.
Hey everyone, it's Luke here from Aptera Motors battery team.
And I'm a battery systems engineer. So Aptera's battery pack is unique.
Integration engineer. I make sure that everything that's happening in the virtual world.
Ryan Caxinat. I am the lead DRE, design release engineer.
Lead battery test engineer. There is I'm Tom. I'm a design engineer on the battery team at Aptera.
My name is Diego, and I am a battery frame design engineer.
Current or more recent videos say that Eva or some name like that are going to supply the batteries, and then shortly after that, some Taiwanese firm is going to supply the batteries. So, whatever happened to these team of engineers who say they were building batteries? I don't know.
Biggest changes in our battery design that will first be seen in the beta vehicles is our flex circuit BMS system.
If you watch the battery update, not one of those 7 engineers mentions this flex circuit system. It's just gone into the ether, this system. We don't know what it is.
The flex circuit attaches to the cells in such a way that it allows them to be made up to 10 times faster than typical EV battery packs.
Yes, Steve put out a video about how orders of magnitude were so important, and they were getting great orders of magnitude. And he's just selling this now up to 10 times faster production of the assembly of the battery packs. He's selling snake oil. Once again, nothing substantiated. It's more than a year later, nobody has heard anything about this flex system. Nobody has anything concrete on what's happening with the batteries. All talk, no action.
So that means it lowers our manufacturing costs, and we'll be able to make battery packs for the vehicle much, much quicker than any of competitive technology out there.
Our alpha testing also.
So they're better than the competitive technology out there. Why then have they chosen 2 suppliers out there?
Also showed us a lot about the ergonomics of the Aptera. We noticed that we needed to change the driver position a bit, as well as the steering wheel position, and increase headroom a bit to make the vehicle overall more comfortable.
We're back to the fact that lots of people question the ergonomics and seating position, and so they come out with a video just to say it's a lot better. If you look at the alpha, beta, gammas, there's next to nothing between any of them. There's no room, there's no opportunity to improve the seating position. It's actually a very reclined position, and it's also awkward to get in and out of. But they try to hide that fact.
All of these beta improvements that we've been working on for the past year, things like suspension and increased headroom, better battery technology, more efficient motors, bring us one step closer to production. The vehicle design process.
One step closer to production. They actually are telling you you're closer and closer, and yet as you get further down the months, they are further and further away. But they never tell you that. They're still telling you they're closer to production.
Process here at Aptera has 4 main phases: alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. The alpha vehicles that you've seen, such as the one behind me, have provided all the useful information for us that they're going to. And for months, we've been working to incorporate that in the beta design. We've improved ergonomics in the beta vehicles from a human factors standpoint. Everything from how you sit in it, how it feels, where your hands fall, the seat adjustment fore and aft, and headroom, all of those things have been radically improved from alpha to beta.
As we finish the engineering on our beta development vehicles, we can't wait to start building them through the summer and share our progress with you.
They can't wait to start building them through this summer. We've had summer, winter, spring, autumn, all go past. the next summer is about a week until it's over.
Stay tuned for updates.
Stay tuned for updates. As I said, their updates are about 2 minutes long, some less. And these updates, even though they give them a month name usually, less than once every second month. And the updates are unsubstantiated. The updates are just more talk. Talk, talk, talk. Promises, promises, promises. And gullible people actually swallow it. I just can't believe it. We need facts. We need substantiated evidence of their claims. I don't know how they can get away with so many claims and no evidence. Well, that should be it from me. I just wanted to remind people of how all of these promises have been stringing along for too long now, and people need to wake up to this. That's all for me this time, and bye for now. Stay safe.